welcome to Michigan International Speedway for today's Firekeepers Casino 400 in the Irish Hills. 35 of the Verizon Cup Series best drivers line up on the grid for this 400-mile event around this 2-mile superspeedway. The Busch brothers on the front row, Kurt and Kyle. Kyle Busch the points leader. Kurt Busch still looking for his first win of the season. Kyle Larson, he's the favorite for today's race. He rolls off in the third position. Watch out for that number 42 Chevy SS. Joey Logano, he won this race a year ago. He looks to defend his Michigan win with the win today. Let's go trackside for the command.
On the engines, please welcome today's Grand Marshals, Grammy-nominated country music duo, Thompson Square.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And driver, start your engine!
And the cars roll off the grid. We'll take a look at your starting lineup for today's race. On the front row, it's the Busch brothers, Kurt and Kyle Busch. And then in row 2, Kyle Larson, the favorite for today, next to Ryan Blaney with a good qualifying effort. Brad Keselowski, Michigan native, next to Chase Elliott. And then in row 4, best career start for Daniel Suarez. He rolls off next to Joey Logano. Row 5, Kevin Harvick and Jimmy Johnson. And in row 6, two winners on mile-and-a-half tracks this year, Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex. Row 7, Matt Kenseth and Clint Bowyer. And in row 8, Jimmy McMurray and Casey Kane. Row 9, teammates Austin Dillon and Ryan Newman. And in row 10, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. next to Paul Menard. Row 11, Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Eric Jones. And in row 12, Eric Almirola and Trevor Bayne. Row 13, Michael McDowell and David Reagan. And row 14, Daytona 500 winner Chris Buescher next to Danica Patrick. Row 15, Landon Castle and AJ Allmendinger. Matt Benedetto and Greg Gaulding make up row 16. Row 17, Corey LaJoie and Ryan Sieg returning in the number 7. And row 18, it's Ty Dillon, who did not qualify. Lowe's race facts: 200 laps, stage 1 and 2, 60 laps, stage 3, 80 laps. And Joey Logano won this race last spring. Green flag in the air, we're racing in the Irish Hills. Through 3 and 4, both Busch brothers side by side, Larson trying to gain. And to the start-finish line, Kurt Busch leads lap 1. And back to the line for stage 1, Kyle Busch will get his 5th stage win of the year. See, Busch brothers make up the first 2. That's Larson, Blaney, Keselowski. The top 5, Elliott, Suarez, Harvick, Logano, and Johnson all getting points. Keselowski and Busch side by side. Trouble in turn 3. It's Austin Dillon who will slide to the apron in turn 3, and that will bring out the caution for the first time for incident, the second of today. And let's watch what happened to Austin Dillon. It just looked like got loose going into turn 3 on the inside of Ryan Newman and could not save the car. Sucks for Austin Dillon, was running inside the top 15 at the time. And here it is in real time, just the back end got upset and around he went, but he's on pit road making the repairs he needs to be right back on the track. Back to the line for stage 2, Kyle Larson will win his 3rd stage of 2017. See the results: Larson, Kyle Busch, who both won stages in Bristol last week, Keselowski, Blaney, Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, Daniel Suarez. Busch in command by about a second. Trouble, turn 4. Casey Kane spins, trying to keep it off the wall, and he'll spin by the grass area. Caution. And let's take a look what happened. Casey Kane, who was in turn 4, this looked like the same thing with Austin Dillon, but except in turn 4, just spun the rear. The car got loose and around he went. And good job to keep it off the inside wall and even the grass. It could have really tore up the splitter. But he'll get some 4 fresh tires. He'll be right back in the race. Elliott starting to make his way to the front. Oh, one car hard in the wall. Jamie McMurray in turn 4, and the caution will come out with 30 laps to go, and this will really affect the restart. As here's McMurray, who he made contact with Suarez a couple of laps ago, and it looks like the right front tire just went down, and man, big hit to the wall for McMurray. And here it is real time. You see this car just hooked right, and there was just the wall he had to get to, and he'll be out of the race. Off of turn 4, Kyle Busch is not a threat. Kyle Larson wins in Michigan. And a big win for Larson, his 2nd career win after he won in Michigan in the fall. His first 2 career wins will come in Michigan, as he will burn it down. A big win for that team as they're locked into the playoffs. Here are results. Larson with his first win. Kyle Busch, who has finished in the top 3 for, I think, the last 3 races. But nonetheless, Chip Ganassi getting another win. 2nd career win for Larson after he held off Kevin Harvick in the fall to win here, as I mentioned. Good finish for some guys like Trevor Bayne, finishing 21st. He's had a rough year, but turned it around today. And here's the last page. See the guys who weren't really competitive today. But here are the points. Kyle Busch is still your points leader. Kyle Larson goes up to 4th with his win today. Chase Elliott, a good margin over the cut line, which Dale Earnhardt Jr. is only 7 points above Ricky Stenhouse now. So that race going into Talladega is going to be interesting, knowing that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is a good restrictor plate racer. And speaking of our next race, it's the Geico 500 in Talladega. Hope you enjoyed this presentation of the NASCAR Verizon Cup Series.